nothing beats 2 cheeseburgers with secret sauce.
Fast food may be tasty, but what's really inside of your favorite burger? Well, let's open up the recipe book and look at 10 popular fast food items with the sketchiest ingredients. Phthalates.
I'll have the Big Mac, please.
Great choice.
Phthalates are chemicals that are added to plastics to make them flexible, durable, and pliable. The most common type of phthalate is diisononyl phthalate, DINP, which is used in flexible PVC products like vinyl flooring, shower curtains, and textiles. They can also be used in many fragrances and a variety of other products. Phthalates are unfortunately found in many food and beverages as well, especially fast food.
What kind of plastic, man?
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has set no maximum level for phthalates in food either. Phthalates, far from being harmless, have been linked to a variety of human ailments, including reproductive abnormalities, asthma, and cognitive impairments. You'll probably be a little horrified to find them in most of your fast food orders as well. The largest concentration was found in cheeseburgers, chicken burritos, and other meat items, with levels substantially greater in burritos than in burgers. On the plus side, French fries were among the least polluted items. Scientists admit that the specific danger these chemicals may pose to human health is not yet totally understood because not all of them have been properly examined. Chick-fil-A Milkshakes.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours.
When the temperature starts to rise and the leaves start to grow, one thing on people's minds might be a nice cold milkshake. The weather is a great excuse to down something cold, comforting, and delicious, and that's where the best milkshakes come in. It's difficult to pick just one milkshake flavor or mix because there are so many. There's really nothing quite like a fresh, creamy milkshake. But did you know that the popular fast food chain Chick-fil-A has its own signature milkshake recipe?
I gotta know what a $5 shake tastes like.
Chick-fil-A milkshakes are made with real milk and the chain's own special ingredients, which gives the shakes a unique taste. Milkshakes are ideal when you're looking to cool off with something sweet and delicious. Unfortunately, this fast food chicken chain also uses another special ingredient in their shakes that isn't quite so appetizing. Even though the chain's milkshakes don't actually contain real seaweed, they do use a strange compound that is derived from the underwater plant. Carrageenan is extracted from sea kelp. It's a thickening and gelling agent which is extracted from the seaweed and used as a food additive and in cosmetics. Carrageenan has been linked to inflammation, ulcers, and other diseases. Carrageenan was also linked to cancer and other diseases in animal testing, but this has not been shown to be the case in humans. Taco Bell's Burritos.
Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito?
The humble burrito is one of the world's most popular fast food dishes. The burrito is also one of the world's most adaptable foods, able to take on all manner of fillings, toppings, and additions. Taco Bell's burrito is a mouth-watering, Americanized Mexican dish that usually contains a big helping of meat and rice with a layer of something in between the two main ingredients. They're delicious, cheap, and filling. The best part is that there are so many variations of burritos that you're sure to find one that suits your tastes.
Says the girl who cuts her burrito.
Burrito lovers beware, though. There are some downsides to digging into a cheap and filling Taco Bell burrito. Cellulose, also known as wood pulp, has been found in many fast food chains' meats as a filler ingredient to cut down on costs. Taco Bell tried to dispel any speculation or worry about their meat a few years back by clarifying the 12% of additional components in its ground beef. Cellulose was unfortunately one of those components. They claimed that it's a safe carbohydrate present in the cell walls of plants that helps with oil and water binding. The cellulose, or wood pulp, can also be found in the nacho cheese sauce and chips from the famed restaurant. Wendy's chili.
Can I help you?
Can I please have a small cup of chili?
We all have our go-to order at Wendy's. The menu is quite diverse, so there's something for every type of appetite. But there's one thing everyone should be a little wary about: the cup of chili. Cooked burger patties that aren't used for an order are eventually thrown into a metal pan in a warming drawer. These leftover burgers are left to sit for countless hours, sometimes even all day. When the collection pan is finally full, the leftover burger patties will become chili meat. The less-than-fresh burgers are transferred to a plastic plastic pan and microwaved with water to bring back some hydration to the meat. The water is then removed and the meat is chopped up into tiny pieces so it can be used for the chili.
Hey, I brought you some Wendy's.
After it's been properly chopped, it's placed in plastic bags and frozen, ready to be used the next day, or later if there are any older bags of chili meat in the freezer that haven't been used. They may be kept in the freezer for up to 7 days after being chopped. If you don't mind some potentially old burger meat in your chili, then there's really nothing to fret about. Wendy's chili is actually really good and a great value for its price. So chili lovers on a budget can still enjoy a quick and cheap version of their favorite comfort food anytime. Wendy's fries.
It's Wendy's Baconator fries, just $1.99.
No one wants to pick on Wendy's. The fast food chain is an American classic. However, the famous burger chain has been found to use some slightly sketchy ingredients in their products, though. Dimethylpolysiloxane, a so-called anti-foaming agent, is a common chemical used by Wendy's in their fryer oil. To put it another way, the same chemicals that you could be using to care for your skin and hair are soaking into your fried meals. But before you panic, you should know that it may also be found in cooking oil, chocolate, vinegar, and even gum. There is no indication that dimethylpolysiloxane is harmful to people when used in food, though. When used in frying oil, dimethylpolysiloxane is said to prevent the oil from bubbling up, foaming, or splashing too much. It's also used by fast food giants like Domino's, KFC, Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, and yes, even McDonald's. A few years back, Wendy's released its natural cut fries with sea salt.
Wendy's what?
Wendy's breakfast.
Touting the product's more natural appearance. The potato skins are left on the fries, and superior taste when compared to other brands of fries. However, it turns out that the product is far from natural. In addition to the dimethylpolysiloxane, the fries also include a fair amount of dextrose. Dextrose is a corn-derived sugar coating that helps the fries keep their color. Wendy's natural cut fries also include more salt than their original fries, up by more than 40%. 500 milligrams in a medium-sized serving isn't doing anyone watching their sodium intake any favors. McDonald's apple pies.
How many did you eat? 4.
When you think of McDonald's, you probably think of their burgers, but the world's biggest burger chain is much more than that. It's a veritable institution with over 35,000 locations in 123 countries and territories around the world. You'll find the Golden Arches in almost every country on Earth. No matter where you go, you can be pretty sure there's a McDonald's nearby. The chain is best known for its burgers, but it also offers a diverse menu selection, including chicken, fish, desserts, and more. The sweet and savory taste of an apple pie without having to bake it yourself is one of life's simple pleasures. McDonald's apple pies are the perfect treat for dessert lovers, with a flaky crust and sweet apple and cinnamon goodness found inside. The apple pies have also been the source of some controversy over the years, however. Up until the early 1990s, everything was A-OK when it came to McDonald's hot apple pie. Then in 1992, McDonald's announced that it would no longer be deep frying their apple pies and would instead be baking them.
Everything looks delicious.
A change that would have apple pie fans around the country seeing red. People did eventually get over the change from fried to baked pies, and things continued along fine for a while. In recent years, however, it was discovered that McDonald's was using a sketchy ingredient to keep their pie dough up to standards. To improve the pliability of the dough, McDonald's was using an amino acid called L-cysteine. L-cysteine is an ingredient that is added to commercial bread to extend its shelf life. Feathers from ducks and chickens are a good source of this ingredient, but another source that is used in food is primarily derived from human hair. The majority of the hair utilized in L-cysteine manufacturing originates from barbershops and hair salons in China. Probably not the most appetizing information you'll hear today, but the people have a right to know. Potassium bromate.
Potassium bromate, do you know what that is? Are you okay, sir?
One of the oldest and most commonly used oxidizing agents, potassium bromate, was once widely used as a dough strengthener and flour bleaching agent in bread and baked goods. Today, it has been banned for use in foods by many governments around the world. Potassium bromate is a brown powder that is often formed into tablets or pellets. It is very hygroscopic, meaning that it absorbs water readily. Chinese regulators yanked a batch of imported snack chips from store shelves in 2007 because they suspected the chips contained potassium bromate, a forbidden food ingredient in the country. The chips were made in the United States. Because it was found to cause cancer in rats and mice, potassium bromate is prohibited in the European Union, Canada, Brazil, and other countries. However, it has been allowed in the United States since 1914, when it was originally patented for use in baked bread.
You know what you're putting into our bodies? Death!
Potassium bromate is allowed in food as long as it does not exceed 750 parts per million, according to the FDA. It's in bread, pizza dough, buns, and just about anything else that contains flour. Many firms that continue to utilize bromated flour argue that the bromate is transformed to bromide during baking. Potassium bromide is not known to cause cancer. The problem is the special methodology needed in order to ensure that the bromate gets transformed. Bromate can stay in the product if the flour isn't cooked long enough or at a high enough temperature. This can also happen if there is an excessive amount of it in the first place. Propylene Glycol.
And it doesn't matter because it all tastes the same, okay? It is sugar on ice.
Propylene Glycol is a colorless, odorless liquid that is the primary ingredient in many food and drink additives. It is thought to act as a humectant, meaning that it is able to draw water into its molecules. This property makes it a popular ingredient in moisturizers and sprays, and is also used as a base ingredient in many other products, such as shampoos and moisturizers.
Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair.
Food manufacturers commonly use a variety of ingredients to give their products the taste, texture, color, and other characteristics that consumers expect and desire. One such ingredient is propylene glycol, which is used to enhance the texture, volume, and other characteristics of food. One of the most common applications of propylene glycol is in food and beverage flavorings, such as fruit and candy flavors. It's also used to keep moisture retention and to prolong the shelf life of products. Calcium sulfate.
Close your eyes and open your mouth.
This isn't Burning Man boil.
Calcium sulfate is a chemical compound mostly associated with gypsum, plaster of Paris, and Epsom salt. A white crystalline solid, calcium sulfate is the principal ingredient in many plaster mixtures, such as gypsum wallboard, and is also used in many other applications like drywall compound, lime putty, and in the manufacture of paper. This colorless chemical, which is used in rolls and baked products as an anti-caking agent and dough strengthener, does deliver some calcium to meals. According to U.S. government policy, there are regulations on how much can be used in food to keep ingestion within acceptable ranges.
It's inedible. Food is supposed to be edible.
However, excessive calcium consumption, especially in supplementary form, is a cause for worry in some medical situations. Phosphate additives.
We'd like you to try this new Diet Cola. We call it Nature's Goodness.
This food additive, derived from the mineral phosphorus, is meant to improve taste and is used as an emulsifier for many things. It can be found in soda, flavored drinks, packaged meat, processed cheese, and chicken nuggets, among many other foods. According to one study published in a well-respected journal, when phosphate levels were found to be high in blood samples, both animals and people became less physically active.
Oh my God, I'm a fat guy!
Even healthy people who have high amounts of phosphates in their blood may be at risk for bone and heart health problems. Just another sketchy ingredient to watch out for in your favorite fast food items. Check out more great videos. Just tap or click. Hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell.